Previously on the sickness that is ponies.
I refuse to believe and I refuse to accept that the winner in the video game industry is the one who can spend the most amount of money. Even if that is how it goes, I will quit gaming and I will be done. I will quit gaming and I will be done.
If PlayStation fans do not stop buying Call of Duty, obviously this is a big major W for Microsoft. The highest selling game will be celebrated by Microsoft. And guess who would have gotten them there? The PlayStation gaming community. The PlayStation gaming community. I have to say this 3 times because I don't think any of you guys understand. When Microsoft, during the next NPD, talks about the highest selling game, they can celebrate Call of Duty because it is now their game.
Here comes a new challenger.
Now, Bungie is not in a PlayStation studio. It's owned by Sony. Bungie is a Sony studio, not a PlayStation studio.
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
Right? Because Sony is a different entity than PlayStation. They used to be the same, but they split up. Now, if Sony gets hurt, PlayStation does it because they're a different thing. But Sony they're still part of them, but they're different companies under the same roof. Kind of like Kellogg's owning
who? Guys, I don't know what to say again. Here we have, Sony fans comparing Sony to Kellogg's, Sony and PlayStation, they are not the same company. I don't know what to do again. Let's get into some of these topics. Today we are going to talk about how Starfield got Game of the Year when it comes to the Golden Joystick. We'll also talk about how another Naughty Dog developer is leaving. And then we are going to talk about the so-called cancel game, the so-called worst game under Microsoft, which is Call of Duty. We're going to see how terrible it's doing. Let's talk about it.
This is a sickness!
Let's get it. Let's first talk about Naughty Dog. You see, Naughty Dog is hailed as one of the best developers, one of the best studios in the gaming industry. They would have made games like Jak and Daxter, and most recently, The Last of Us. Yes, Naughty Dog is like a golden goose there in Sony. So one would think that after reporting record sales not only this quarter but last quarter as well, Sony would make sure they take good care of their star developers, making sure they get a good salary, making sure that they are happy in their workplace so that they could continue to produce the games that is making Sony hundreds of millions of dollars. Well, we just saw another employee walked out of the job there at Naughty Dog. And this is not the first time it happened. It began in July the 15th of this year when Aaron Wells, the co-president of Naughty Dog, sent out an email to his co-workers saying, after 25 years at Naughty Dog, I wanted to share with all of you that I've decided to retire at the end of this year. So yes, he started the walkout or the quote-unquote retiring there at Naughty Dog. Soon after, and I mean very soon after, like July the 15th, there we saw Josh Shares decided to leave Naughty Dog. Push Square Root, Naughty Dog writer, animator Josh Shares departs after 21 years. After that, he tweeted, "Here goes. When I was a kid, making video games was my hobby. Never dreamed I'll get to make them for a living, let alone at a studio like Naughty Dog. Last week, after 21 years and 10 shipped games, I said goodbye to my friends and colleagues at the kennel." Yes, Josh left. So that's 2 developers from Naughty Dog left, and that's not ordinary temps or ordinary developers. These are persons in high office. But it didn't end there. Today, This is what Naughty Dog released. Our head of technology, Christian Gerling, has decided to leave Naughty Dog after an amazing 17-year career at our studio. We are grateful for his many contributions to the studio, our games, and his teammates. We will miss Christian greatly and wish him the best of luck on where his path leads next. So riddle me this. If I am working at one of the best studios in the world, if I'm getting enough money, I'm getting enough notoriety, why would I want to leave? Right, so here we have 3 developers. One is questionable, one said he's so-called retired, and the other 2 walked off. If you all don't want to believe something is wrong at Sony, then I don't know what else you guys would want to believe. But it's very clear, ever since that Activision Blizzard merger with Microsoft, a lot of devs have been walking out of Sony studios. But let me hear what you think about it. Maybe I have it wrong, but let me hear what you think in the comment sections below. So the Golden Joystick is an award show that happens every year, and this year was no different. So we saw that a number of different studios, a number of different games won different categories in that particular award show. One of them is the Game of the Year for Xbox. Which game got Game of the Year for the Xbox? It is none other than Starfield. Yes, Starfield took the prize of the best game for Xbox for the Golden Joysticks. So I don't know, one would think that, if it is you are nominating someone for a Golden Joystick, you'll nominate your game, the games that come from your first party studio. But this year in the Golden Joystick, guess who won the PlayStation Game of the Year? Not the only game they had, which was Spider-Man 2. It was a Resident Evil, yes, to believe. A third-party game won the best game of the year for PlayStation 5. Isn't that a shame? That not even your first-party games could have been, received and gotten that title. Again, Sony is quacking with this one here. I don't know what went on, but to believe Resident Evil beat Spider-Man, wow. Not forgetting Baldur's Gate, that won the ultimate game of the year. So is this, how to say, a foreshadowing of what is going to happen at the Jeff Keighley's Game Awards? We'll have to wait and see, but let me know what you think about it in the comment sections below. Ever since IGN gave Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 single player a 4 out of 10, most of Sony fans and most of the industry said Call of Duty is dead. Call of Duty is no longer Call of Duty. Microsoft spoiled it. That was the narrative. They were saying basically don't buy Call of Duty. That was the narrative that was being pushed throughout the industry. Well, one would even the kickback of Microsoft owning Call of Duty. Some persons said that they were not going to purchase Call of Duty this time around simply because Microsoft owned it. Well, this is the result of all their efforts. Because of the boycott, because of the ponies saying not to buy Call of Duty, it is #1 on the Steam charts. Not only that, but it's #1 on Amazon. Look at that. In addition to all of that, Modern Warfare 3 is currently the top-selling game across PlayStation, Xbox, and Steam. Not forgetting Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 release sees UK's biggest ever game traffic for internet service providers, Eurogamer.net. Look at that. Call of Duty is simply killing it. Call of Duty is breaking records, all because these ponies try to boycott, these ponies try to tarnish the name of Call of Duty, and now Call of Duty is killing it in every metric you can think of. Wouldn't you look at that? Now, tell me what you think about all the stories that we spoke about today. We spoke about Call of Duty being #1. We also spoke about Starfield becoming Game of the Year with Golden Joystick. And we also saw all the salt of the ponies. Let me know what you thought about it. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.